Hello everyone, welcome back to another What Sold With Me video. This is for all of October so far. So October is almost over, it's the 25th, but I wanted to share with you guys my top sales of this month so far. It has been a very profitable, good month for me with picking up hard goods and just getting my listings back up to what they were before I had another baby. It's been busy, of course, but I've been finding time to squeeze in, getting more listings done, getting back to sourcing, and all that fun stuff. So we're going to get into that, but first I want to take a quick minute to thank the sponsor of this video, Prime Lister. It has been a godsend for me during the past year, being pregnant and with a newborn. I have counted on their subscription service like entirely. Their Poshmark automation tool has been just the greatest blessing for me in my business this past year because I have not had the time to sit on my computer and do the sharing and the offers and all that stuff that Poshmark makes you do. So just having this tool available to me has been amazing because I do not have to sit at my computer all day sharing my closet or sending out offers. It's an automation that does that all on its own. I set it up in the beginning and then it just kind of does its thing. Multiple times throughout the week, I will be like, oh my gosh, is everything like working smoothly? And I'll go to the Prime Lister website or the app and I can see exactly what has been done as far as sharing, offers being made. And it's literally like to the minute every time I check my app that things are just running smoothly behind the scenes. I do not have to worry about anything. It is so nice. If you are looking for a new like Poshmark closet automation tool, I highly suggest Prime Lister because they are one of the only ones with the cloud-based technology that allows you to share everything, send out offers without you physically having to open your laptop or shake your mouse to turn on your computer. I did that for years and it took so much time and just effort into getting my Poshmark to where it is today. I'm very grateful for their service because I would not be making the sales that I'm making now on Poshmark in general. eBay has always been a top contender for me, but since using this tool, Poshmark is coming up right next to eBay. So that is just amazing to have two platforms just doing its thing. They also have the delist and relist tool that you can use with the Poshmark automation, which is incredible because you can go through your closet, delist all of your stale listings, 90 days or more. That's what I do. And I just relist them to freshen everything up. That is super helpful. It gets new eyes on your products. And that's always good to generate more sales. If you are interested, I highly suggest checking it out. You do get a 14-day free trial. No credit card information is necessary. So if you happen to not like it, there's nothing that's being charged to your card. You're just done for the 2 weeks. If you do like it, you can use my code in the description below to get an additional 30% off your first month. So that is a great way to start, a great way to try it out. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to them and let's get back to the what sold. This is a brand called Pugnacious. They just do a lot of pug figurines. I went to an estate sale. This lady had like 7 of them. I bought all of them. The sell-through rate is really good for these guys, and they usually sell between 50 to like 150. So this guy sold within like 2 days for $100, and I did pay 10 bucks for him. How cute. Definitely a bolo item that I would have never guessed. Next, this is a Munster's Hawthorne Village Halloween accessory set. I picked up a huge box of these guys from like a Facebook Marketplace ad for $25. It was incredible. This guy sold for $40 within a week. Just a cute little like Halloween Village set. I'm gonna try to fly through these because I have a ton here. And of course my computer is slow. Next is a Yadro piece. I picked this guy up at a yard sale for $10, sold within a week for $200. Amazing find here. This was from their African like legacy collection. If you don't know Yadro, this is what their logo looks like if you're not familiar. I used to be afraid to ship breakables, but I feel like I'm much more confident now, knock on wood. So I'm just not scared of it anymore, basically. There's definitely things that you can do and buy to help prevent any issues and to keep your items safe. So just do your research and make sure they're safely packaged. Next this is a little Starbucks tumbler. I got this at the bins for maybe $1. It sold within 2 weeks for a full price of $20. Normally, I do not pick up, I don't pick up every Starbucks item that I see, but this one did have a good sell-through rate and seemed to be pretty popular, so I gave that one a shot. Next is a little brass hand-shaped like handkerchief clip that you can hang on your wall. This was made in Japan, vintage, super cool. I found it at the bin, so I barely paid $1 for it, and it sold within 2 weeks for $25. Next are the vintage tiki bobs from my last video. This was like the best item that I found. I picked this up at a yard sale for, you're not going to believe it, 50 cents. 50 cents. Yeah. So these are vintage, hard to find, very rare, very collectible. This one sold for $2.75. It had a little flaw, just a chip along the rim of the glass there. But yeah, this sold within, I think, 3 weeks for that $2.75. So that was incredible. And then I picked up another one you guys will see here that also sold. This is a little Jolly Joe. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I always pick up these little dolls. They do really good for me. There's the tag. It's JOLIJOU if you are listening. It's just a little, usually they're like ballerina dolls, little girl, cutesy little boutique kids brand. So this one sold for a full price of $20. It took about a month. Next we have these vintage like glittery reindeer Christmas ornaments. I picked these up at a yard sale for $1.50 and they sold for $19.99. It took about 3 weeks to sell, but definitely a good sale. They did have a few marks on them, and they weren't in the best condition, but they were still very cool and collectible. They had the glittery stuff was kind of sticky. I made sure to note that in the listing. And the mama deer looks so mad in this picture. Look at her. Same. I'm just kidding. Now she's happy. So yeah, these sold pretty quickly. That was a good fun find. Next is a brand called Eaton, I don't know. It's ETON. This is a men's like career wear button up shirt. I found like 5 of these at the bins. Some man donated his entire wardrobe and it was all amazing. So I picked up everything in that bin and it turned out these were worth a pretty good amount. I paid $1 at the bins and this one sold for $29.99, best offer. This is a Coach scooter crossbody bag. This was a $5 yard sale find and it sold within a week for $79.99. These are a pair of Banks Journal corduroy shorts. This is more of like a beachy California surf brand, but these sold overnight for full asking price, so somebody must have been looking for them. They do have a really good sell-through rate though, otherwise. These specific corduroy shorts do. Their other items like t-shirts and stuff, I don't think so much, but definitely do like a Google search for them. Let me see. There's the little tag, Banks Journal. So that was a fun find. These were from that yard sale where I got everything for 50 cents. So that was another video that I have if you haven't seen it. This is a brand called Amundsen. This is a new to me brand. This was a Goodwill find for I think $6.99 and it sold for $40 within like a week. So definitely a good brand to be on the lookout for. They do make jackets that do really well. So if you see any of their jackets or coats, winter coats, those do super well. These are a pair of Brass Swan bookends that I picked up at Goodwill for $7.99. They sold within 2 days for $39.99 and they are just precious. I love them so much. Very like MCM Regency style. They had a few marks on them and I'm sure whoever bought them hopefully can clean up all the shine them up and make them look super pretty, but these sold really quickly. Next is a brand that I literally learned about the day before I went to the bins, and I was like, holy moly, I need to remember that brand because I'm sure I've come across it many times and I just had no idea. But the brand is Crye Precision. It's CRYE, and it is like a military, I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if it is military or if it's just camo print stuff that people like to wear. I didn't do too much research on it, but I found them the very next day. I couldn't even believe it. It blew my mind. So these were a pair of field pants that were modified to be shorts, and I just threw up a price of $200, and they sold within a week and a half. Best offer of 100. So I took the 100 because the inseam was a little short on these guys. And yeah, I was happy to take the 100 for paying maybe like $2 at the bins. It's one of the greatest things to just find something you just learned about and you're like, it's in your mind now, and then you come across it like the very next day. I felt like the universe, the thrifting gods were just like, here you go. You found it. It was crazy. And Marla was with me, and I was so excited, and she was like, okay. Next is a little Care Bear doll. I picked this up at a regular Goodwill for $3.99. It was new at tag. Miniso is where it was sold at. I don't know what that is. Miniso Lights. But the Grumpy Bear can be a bolo. Some of them sell for even more. This little Grumpy Bear guy. This sold for $30, and it went overseas. I'm not sure where, but that was a fun little flip. Next is a Robert Graham limited edition shirt. If you ever come across any of his limited edition shirts, always pick them up. They sell really, really great. And this was a bins find. I found another one that same trip that was limited edition, and then I found a few more that were just regular Robert Graham. But a lady from the bins came up to me. I've talked to her a few times. She's really nice. And she said, "Are you a reseller?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I have something for you if you want it. I've got too much stuff." So she handed me this, and she said, "It should sell for over 100." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." So that was really, really nice of her. Very kind. Yeah, it sold within like 3 days I took an offer of 125. This is a vintage Coach purse. It's the Waverly leather tote. I have never seen or found this style of Coach before, so that was a fun find. It was a yard sale pickup for $3, and it sold for $59.99 within like a week and a half. Very fun. It had some scratches and wear to the leather, but overall it was pretty cute, and somebody could fix it up more, clean it more if they wanted to. So a pair of Red Wing boots. These were a Facebook Marketplace find. I did pay up for them. I paid $50, not knowing that they had pretty significant heel wear. So I listed them for $150, and they sold for an offer of $120. It took about a week and a half, but still a pretty good flip. Next is a J. Jill linen button-down shirt. This was a bins find for about $1. Great size, great color, and it did take about a month and a half to sell, but it did sell for full asking price of $29.99. Next is a double RL Ralph Lauren shirt. This did sell for $60 in about 3 days. It was a bins find. Funny story, there were a group of teenagers at the bins. They weren't resellers, but they were looking through everything, and one of them held this up asking their friend if they wanted it. And as soon as I saw the tag, I was like, I'm just going to wait right here and see if they put it down. And they did put it down, thankfully, and I was able to pick it up. Okay, Emily the Strange scarf. This was a yard sale find for $1. There is the tag. Yeah, they used to sell this at Hot Topic early 2000s. They might still sell it. I have no idea. I haven't been in a Hot Topic in years, but the older stuff does sell really well. I have sold a t-shirt from this brand for $50, so definitely keep an eye out for this tag. Next is a Wayne Klesky like Halloween pumpkin doll. Very folk art, very creepy, but very cute. This was a yard sale pickup for $5, and he sold within 2 weeks for $71.99. He is just the cutest. Next are these Berggren Swedish coffee mugs. I found these at a yard sale for $3 for the set of 4, and they took about a week to sell for $29.99. So this was an amazing sale. If you saw my last video, you've already seen this, but I picked up these Pokemon cards for $5 at a yard sale. They were all holographic, first gen. Like, I know so much about Pokemon now, and they sold for $750. I don't know everything. There may be a card in here that's worth like millions of dollars. Who knows? but I'm happy that I got $7.50 out of it for paying $5, and whoever got them can flip them for more. That's fine. But these were really, really fun. I've been wanting to find old Pokemon cards for a while, so I was very excited for this one. This is a Target hide and eek little birdie. Some of these guys can do really well. The Halloween ones sell for quite a bit, so always be on the lookout for them. This guy did sell for full price in 2 weeks for $19.99, and he was a bins find, so I barely paid maybe $1. He's so lightweight and he's so cutie. Next is a major bolo. This is Marina recovery, like compression suits. These are post-surgery suits that people wear for maybe like 2 weeks to recover, and then that's it. They retail for like $200, so they are very expensive. People are looking for them on eBay, and they sell very quickly. Within a day or two, I always sell them every time I list them. This one sold for $69.99, and it did take about 3 days. This was a yard sale find. I got this for $2. This is a new jelly cat, just a little carrot guy. I paid $1 for him, and he sold within 2 weeks for $14.99. Next are a pair of Revice lace-up jeans. These were a bins find, so I paid a couple bucks, and they did sell within a day for $39.99. Somebody must have been looking for them. They are very Y2K Western, like Christina Aguilera vibes to me. So they were very cute, but I did not expect them to sell that quickly. Some of the jeans from this brand do well, but a lot of their other stuff doesn't do the best. So always run comps. Here is the tag. There we go. Next is a Juicy Couture velour wallet. This was a Goodwill find for $7.99. It took about a month to sell, but it sold for full asking price of $39.99. Next is a brand called Donna Jo. This brand does have a following, so every time I find it, I do pick it up. I found these at a yard sale for $2 a piece. I actually found about 6 pairs of them. These two sold in a bundle for $50. So this one, and then a really cool moon print one. So $4 and $2.50 was a nice little flip. I guess I should show you guys the tag. Let's see. Here is the tag. Anything made in or designed or made in USA, I always run comps. That's how I learned about this brand. Next is a Stop Staring swing dress. This is a rockabilly, like pinup style dress. Very cute. It did sell for full asking price of $49.99 in about a month, and it was a bins find. Here is the tag for that one. Next is an Icon motorcycle jacket. This was a yard sale find I picked up for $20, and it did sell within a month for $100. Here's the tag for that one. I always look into motorcycle gear, hunting gear, fishing, all that stuff, because I know that it is pretty spendy, and a lot of people are looking for it pre-owned in good condition. Next is a brand called Muji. I've talked about this brand before, but it always sells super quick for me. Not for a ton, but it does sell really fast. And it does not have a material tag on the collar, so you do have to check it doesn't have the brand tag on the collar. You have to check the material tag, and it'll say right there. They usually use really good fabrics, so that's one of my cues to check to see if it is them. This sold for $19.99, and I picked it up at the bins. These are a pair of mother jeans that I picked up at that 50-cent clothing yard sale. That's the last video I posted if you haven't watched it. These sold within like 4 days for $59.99. Next is a yard sale pickup for $1. This is a Johnson's baby oil gel. This is discontinued from 2007. I had it listed pretty high at 70, but it has been sitting for like 3 months, so I did accept an offer of 40. Next is a Goodwill find. I paid $9.99 for this. The brand is Mammoth, not to be confused with Mammoth. That is also an outdoor brand. This brand does sell for a lot more than Mammoth. Better sell-through rate, all that jazz. Their outdoor wear, like their coats, jackets, outdoor like waterproof pants, those do the best. But I will still pick up this brand if I find it in like a t-shirt or something at the bins. But this did sell for $125, and it took a few months to sell. The other Robert Graham that I picked up at the bins, this was a really cool embroidered dog origami button-up. It did have a few stains, so I priced it accordingly, and it did sell for $70 in about 3 days. Another bolo for you guys is Cageus. I'm probably not saying that right. Let me show you the tag. It's KJUS. This sold for $50 within a week, and it was a bins find. Okay, now we're moving on to Poshmark. A lot of my sales on here were kind of like a closet clear out thing, so just, you know, keep that in mind. A lot of these brands are brands that have been sitting a while for me, and I will from here on out I will be pickier with what I pick up from those brands. Maybe it's size related, that's why it didn't sell well. Style based, all that stuff. So yes, keep that in mind. First sale are these Vivea. Probably saying that wrong too, but this brand is definitely a bolo. They sell super quick. These sold within 2 days for $45. I picked up onions, so they're like a stretchy comfort shoe that's also really cute. But yeah, definitely kind of like a Rothy's vibe. And they don't really look like anything. To me, this looks like an Amazon brand. So definitely keep an eye out for this brand. This is a Kindred Braverly bra. It's a pumping, like hands-free nursing bra. These are pretty spendy, so I think I paid maybe 35 or 40 for this for myself, and it sold for 20. This was a Free People Movement like oversized hoodie shirt. This sold really quickly in like 3 days for 25 bucks. That was a bins find for $1.50 maybe. This is another bins find, Vuori. This is one of their newer style leggings. It's all the feels. It's like a super soft legging. I had these up for 50 and someone offered 40. Within like a week they were sold. These are a pair of Mason Margiela boots. They're like a peep toe ankle leather bootie. These were a bins find, probably about $2, and they sold for 48. This was a bundle of that Donna Joe, those leggings, or the skirts that I had mentioned earlier. These sold for a bundle for $60, so $30 a piece. So I did pay the $2 each for those at that yard sale. This was a cute little Disney like flounder translucent backpack. It was from Disneyland and it was so precious. I'm kind of wishing I would have kept it for our Disneyland trip we're going on, but I don't know if Marlo would wear it. But it was sold for 20 bucks. This was a bins find, so maybe $1 for that. This is another bins find, just a vintage like Y2K band tee. This is the Decemberist from 2007. It was a tour t-shirt, so I always pick up tour merch. You know, I run comps and I see the sell-through rate just to make sure it's something that will sell. But this one did sell within a month for 28. These are a bins find. I always pick up Crocs at the bins if they are in good condition because they're so cheap. Probably paid $1 or $2 for these and they sold for 25. They did take a while to sell, and they also sold in October. So sandals are still selling in October. Next are a pair of Pedro Garcia little booties. These were a bins find as well. This brand does do well occasionally, but I feel like it does take them a while to sell. I don't know. You can kind of see it inside the boot. Pedro Garcia. I think they're made in Spain. Yeah, so always run your comps on these, but 32 is pretty good for picking up for a couple bucks at the bins. Next are a pair of Hokas. I always pick up Hokas if they're in good condition and cheap, especially if they are a larger size and they are like double wide or triple wide sizes. These are a pair of men's 12.5 wide, and these were at the Goodwill for, I think I paid $20 for these. Maybe it was 15. But I did pay up, and they did sell within a week for 76. Another pair of Hokas. These were a bins find. They were so cute. They remind me of the Free People Hoka collabs, but I don't think they were. But these were, yeah, like I said, a bins find, so a couple bucks, and they sold for 50 in about 2 weeks. Next is a Lululemon, just a cropped crew neck sweater. This was a Goodwill find for $6.99, and I have had it for, I think, like 7 months. It's taken a while to sell, but that's probably because I listed it super high. Lululemon does not sell for what I used to get for it. I had this listed at 50, and I kept lowering the price, and finally someone bought it at $28. Next are a pair of Y2K Rocket Dog, like chunky clogs. What is up with my computer? Why these didn't sell for more, I have no idea, but I've had them for a year, and I had them listed as high as like 90 based off of another comp that I had to dig for. So they are super rare, but I just kept lowering the price, and finally someone bought them for 30. I'm pretty sad about it, but at the same time, I'm so happy that somebody's gonna enjoy these and wear them because they are the cutest thing I have ever seen. Next is an ALC, just kind of a knit sweater. This was a Goodwill find for $6.99. Definitely a bad buy here. It sold for 11, so I think I barely made my money back on this one. This brand I thought was really good. I was very excited to find it, but I'm not so sure that I will pick it up again in the future. It may have just been the style of this piece and what it looks like. I have no idea, but I will definitely be more selective when finding stuff from this brand. Next is an XCVI button-up jacket. This brand does really well for me in larger sizes, like large or XL. This did take about 4 months to sell, and it sold for $16. It was a bins find, so I paid about $1 for it. Next is a Zara like tunic caftan dress. This sold really quick with less than a week for $23. It was a blogger fave, and it felt very like barely worn. I think somebody took the tags off and that's it. So that was a fun find. I love finding their blogger pieces. They do really well. Next is another Muji top. This is a men's, so they do men's and women's. This one sold for $16 in about 2 weeks, and this was a bins find. Next, we have this 70s open front cardigan sweater. It's a very like boho, hippie, western wear. I thought this would do a lot better actually, but it did not. I've had this for about 7 months. I did pay up for it at a Goodwill. I believe I paid $7.99 and it sold for $25. So not the best, but I'm glad that somebody is going to get to wear it. It's like the perfect fall piece. So I'm very happy that it's going to a new home. Next is a brand called Matt and Nat. They do a lot of faux leather, like vegan purses, and they are pretty popular. This had a lot of attention on it on eBay and Poshmark, and it did sell for $22 after about 3 weeks, and it was a bins find. Next are a pair of New Balance sneakers. These were not the best buy either. I found them at Goodwill for $7.99, so I paid up for them. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't check comps. And then when I got home, I realized that they weren't going to sell for much. I just decided to list them anyway, and they sold for $25 within a week and a half. So it wasn't too bad. I did recoup my money, but I will not be picking up, at a regular Goodwill again. Definitely a bins find though. Next is a Calpac like laptop backpack. This is also another faux leather bag that's pretty popular. This one had a few flaws, so it would have sold for more, probably closer to 40 if it was in better condition, but it did sell for 22 and it took about 3 weeks to sell. This was a bins find. Here is another bins find. I have never sold luggage before, but this brand is really good. It's Brics, Brics. Let me see if I can find the tag for you or the logo. There we go. It does retail for quite a bit, and I found it at the bins for $5. I decided to give it a try. It sold for $76 in about a month, and actually shipping was not that bad. It fit perfectly in a box, and it was lightweight enough that I didn't have to pay extra on Poshmark. So not as scary as I thought it would be. So don't be afraid to pick up luggage. Next is a Patagonia men's R1 pullover sweater. Whatever it is about the R1 on Patagonia, it sells significantly better for a higher amount. I haven't looked into it yet, like what it is, but this is what it is. On the sleeve, like an embroidered R. And this was a vintage style too, so that helped as well. This was a bins find, so a couple bucks for it. It did sell for $70 after, I think it took about 3 months to sell. Next is a Smart Wool half zip pullover. this sat for, oh my gosh, I think like 6 months, which is so strange because Smartwool usually sells really quickly for me. I think it's because it was an extra small. That's why it took a little bit of time, but it did end up selling for 35. Okay, this next is a vintage 90s Jimmy Buffett tour tee. This was an amazing find. I have been like yearning to find a vintage band tee. I used to find them all the time, like 8 years ago, 8 to 10 years ago when I first started reselling. But now, not so much with all the teenagers. They are like professional vintage t shirt finders. I don't know how they get every last drop. This was a bins find for about $1, and it did sell within 3 weeks for $64. How cute is that? Look at these little guys. Chameleon Tour 1993. Super cool. Next is a Talkie or Tokidoki, however you say it. This is a camo, just like shoulder bag. This brand always does really well for me. It's very cute. I love them. This was a bins find, so I paid a couple bucks and it sold within, I want to say 2 months for $30. Next is a brand called Rip Skirt. Normally they sell skirts, and I have sold plenty of their skirts. They do really well. So when I found a pair of pants, I knew I wanted to try them, and they are so cute. They're like a green chartreuse gauzy pull-on pant. Very cozy and great for traveling. They sold for $28, and I did pay up for these. I thought they would do a lot better actually, but I paid $8.99 for these, so not a ton of profit there. But if you do find them at the bins, definitely pick them up. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the tag. There we go. Rip Skirt. So skirts and apparently pants too. Lastly, here's the last one. We have Quince, however you pronounce it. This is a cashmere crew neck sweater. Very pretty, like bright blue color. So beautiful. This brand doesn't sell for a ton, but it does sell quickly. It has a following, and they use some pretty good materials actually. This was a bins find, so I maybe paid $1, and it sold within a month and a half for $24. All right, that is it for this month's What Sold video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned some new brands or maybe some items that you would never consider picking up that you will now be on the lookout for. I appreciate everyone. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.